Well, moving on now to water. For the past 5 years, Oklahoma's Water Resources Board has been working on a comprehensive water plan that included the input of thousands of Oklahomans. And their goal is a fairly simple one: ensuring a reliable water supply for future generations of Oklahomans. I sat down with the executive director of the Oklahoma Water Resources Board, J.D. Strong, as they prepared to present their findings to the state legislature. Well, the first thing I want to ask you about, it may not be the most controversial, but it does look like it may be the hardest thing to do, and that's repairing our aging infrastructure. Where do we start?
Well, clearly it is the biggest challenge that we face as a state, and certainly something that we identified in the comprehensive water planning process as a giant challenge for the state, but we clearly also have to get started on it. And we have one of the best water and wastewater infrastructure financing programs in the country, a AAA rated program. We've done $2.6 billion worth of financing since the program was created in the mid-'80s. But the projections for the next 50 years show us we've got $81 billion worth of water and wastewater infrastructure need over the next 50 years. Our program, as great as it is only really set up to finance about 5% of that need. So we have a huge gap in the need and our ability to finance that need in the future.
And speaking of economic uses, I am assuming that agriculture remains the #1 use for our water?
Yes, crop irrigation continues to be the largest overall water user in the state, and the projections for the next 50 years suggest that it will continue to be the biggest user of water on a statewide basis, which is not any different really than the biggest water user in the United States and the world typically is crop irrigation as well.
A final question. This isn't the first comprehensive water plan the state of Oklahoma has done. What makes this plan different and not put on the shelf like some past water plans that have preceded it?
Well, I hope at the end of the day that it will be utilized and implemented because of the fact that, unlike previous water plans and updates that have been done in the past, we spent a lot of time and effort, thanks to the appropriations from the legislature and others, in going out around the state of Oklahoma and asking Oklahomans, what do you think about water issues and how do you think water should be managed in the state over the next 50 years? And we actually utilized a lot of that good input and those ideas from Oklahomans from all walks of life as we put together the final recommendations and implementation plans and strategies under this comprehensive water plan. So hopefully we will have good grassroots support at the end of the day for these ideas, these recommendations, and therefore see those carried out into implementation at the end of the day.
No, certainly an important and a very interesting subject that affects everyone here in the state. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now from here, it's up to the state legislature to craft the legislation that will guide our use of what is arguably one of our most valuable resources. Now, if you'd like to hear from the two lawmakers leading the committee studying our water resources, just head to okrising.com, where I have our full conversation streaming under this week's Value Added.